All right, what's going on, good people? Welcome back to Cook It Up with Chris. So today we're gonna be doing a homemade pizza. Let's get started.
Warm water. I'll add to that, and we're gonna mix that up. Water between 110 and 120 degrees, and we're gonna let that do its thing for a while. So we're gonna get our tomato sauce started. We're gonna do us a homemade tomato sauce. So right here I got 6 Roma tomatoes, about a pound and a half of Roma tomatoes. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna get some slices, and then we're gonna cube up these slices. And we're gonna do this for all of them, and we'll be back in a second. All right, so now we got the tomatoes all diced up. We're gonna put them into this pot over here. Go ahead. And we're gonna put that on some medium low heat. Now to those tomatoes, we're gonna add the equivalent of half an onion and about 4 to 5 garlic cloves. All right, so now we got that half an onion, those 4 or 5 garlic cloves. We're gonna go ahead and add that to those tomatoes. You shouldn't have to add any liquid, because definitely the juice from the tomatoes, sweat from the onions should give you enough juice to get it going. If you end up thinking it's too dry at some point, add you a little bit of water, just a tablespoon or so at a time. Your hand's gonna be stinking with that garlic and onion. Right here. All right, now while that's getting going, we're gonna add some salt. It's really gonna help everything sweat. A little pepper, a little oregano, and that good old basil. We're gonna get that a little stir, mix it all together. And we're gonna go ahead and let this cook down by itself for about 20-30 minutes. And then we'll mash it and let it go for another 10-15. So we'll come back when it's time to mash. All right, so let's get our dough going. We're gonna need us 2 cups of flour. Do that back up. You'll need about 1 tablespoon of sugar. No soda powder needed because you got your yeast. And then we're gonna get us about a 1/4 cup to 1/3 of a cup of cornmeal. Don't judge me for this. Yes, I do cornmeal. I like the texture that it gives to my crust. I call it 1/3 of a cup to 1/2 cup of cornmeal. Now we're gonna mix that together real quick. All right, we're gonna get us a pinch of salt up in there. And a little bit more salt. And me, myself, on mine, I like garlic. We're gonna put a little garlic in there too. No, just about a 1/2 teaspoon. And then go add 2 tablespoons of butter. And now we're gonna get the mixer out. Pause. All right, so now we're gonna slowly add in this yeast mixture. A little bit at a time, mixing. All right. So now that my dough's together, give me a second and we'll show you the next step. All right, so we got our dough formed. Now we're gonna get it up out of here. It's onto a lightly floured surface. Just lightly, because all we're doing over here is kneading the dough. And it just means we're gonna fold the dough into itself. That's all. Fold it into itself. And it's gonna help keep it light and airy. It's about 4 or 5 times. You don't want to get too crazy. And then you're gonna stretch it, pulling it apart, stretching it over itself. Just stretching it over itself. Not too much. You don't. If you do it too much, you can make the dough all tough. All right. So that might be enough. And now we're gonna get it into a good bowl. All right. We're gonna place it back into this bowl. Pause. Put it in the bowl. All right, so now we got our dough sitting in there. You're gonna go with a damp rag and cover it up. This damp rag is gonna help keep the dough from drying out. And we're gonna let that sit there for about 30 minutes to an hour so it can fluff up. And then we'll come back and spread it out for the pan. All right, so now it's been about 15, 20 minutes over here with our sauce. As you can see, it's sweating down. Everything is loosening up. We're gonna go in with our mashing. We're just gonna start mashing it up. Now you know you got some real sauce. You're gonna get some chunks and some peels in there. So we got us a good thorough begin mash. I'm gonna go in with my finer masher. We're gonna mash some more. Bang it off every now and then and go back in and make sure you get all of it. Alright, and like I said, we're gonna turn the heat down just a little bit more to a low simmer type, a little bit higher than the simmer. And we're gonna let that go for another 15 minutes. Alright, that pasta sauce is now done. We're gonna turn that heat off. And now we blend. All right, now into the blender, we're gonna go with our sauce. If you were making pasta, you could leave it at this step that it's at now. But we're trying to make us a little sauce. So boom, y'all, we got that in there. You're gonna give it a pinch of sugar. And then we're gonna give it, come on, guys. Then we're gonna give it about a tablespoon, 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And we're gonna get it silky smooth. And that is your sauce. Where's my spoon? Nice, creamy, smooth sauce. Alright. You okay? Alright, let's check on that dough. See, it's risen and it's still soft. Let's go ahead and pull it first. Put a little cornmeal down for mine. I'll give you the little crust, a little filling. Once again, don't judge me by my cornmeal. Alright, now let's get this dough out of here. Alright, so now I'm gonna get my dough blade, and I'm just gonna have this. Let's make sure we're getting as even as we can. Now, if you're using a pan as big as mine, you might be making a thin crust. So I'm just gonna press this out as much as I can. Stretch and lay. I'm not fancy. Let's see how fancy I can be. No, I can't do it. So I'm just gonna stretch it out. This is homemade, so you don't have to worry about a perfect circle or pizza pan. This will be enough. And which it will be enough for my kids. So let's stretching that out. Now I'm gonna come to this other dough and I'm gonna do the same thing and we'll be back. So you see, it's not a perfect circle. I ain't perfect. Now you might be saying, we're gonna go down with the, come here, back up. You're in the camera. You're gonna go down with the sauce, and you might be saying, why is this sauce an orange color? It's because the onions and the garlic I put in. If you want to keep it red, don't put whole onion, use powder. But I like using onion. So you're gonna just layer that into the middle, and you're gonna work it out. Not to over sauce. Again, little spoon, and we're gonna work it out. Work it out. All right, so just got a little melted butter going in with a little garlic, and we're just gonna mix that up, and we're gonna come back to that. All right, so now I got me some fresh mozzarella. Just gonna mash that out and put her on there. All right. Now we're gonna go over with some pepperonis.
Pepperoni.
Open your hand, man. All right, so I got that dough done, and just like I did over there, I'm gonna just shred some cheese up over the top. Right. Just gonna be pulling this cheese apart. I'm just gonna go over the top with a little basil, just little sprinkles on both of them. Now we're gonna go with that butter garlic, and just any exposed bread around the edge, we're just gonna brush that edge with a little extra flavor on there. Now I'm going into a 425-degree oven for about 15 minutes. All right, we'll be back. All right, so our time is up. Pieces are done. Let's pull these babies out, see what we got. There's the one for the kiddies. There's the ones for the grown and sexy.
What?
Get on up there and get your shot.
What?
Ooh, I'm gonna let them cool down for a minute before I cut them.
What did you say?
Nothing, man.
You said something about the dog.
All right, let's see what we got here. I heard a crunch. Smells delicious to me. Nice and hot. Look at that crust. Y'all go ahead and enjoy that. Oh, yeah. That's a spot. All right.